are very welcome back to the Play Strong Girl podcast. I am so excited to welcome my guest for episode 3, Vanessa Hullon.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me. I know Vanessa as a friend and nemesis on the pitch, marking each other on the wing most times. But Vanessa has come into my life, I guess, a little bit more in the past, 6 months. Friends of friends, but working with her closely now after she unfortunately has gone through a significant injury of her ACL tear. We're working a bit closer, but Vanessa has represented Ireland for tag.
Yes.
And touch.
No, not touch. Soccer as well.
Soccer
actually.
as well. Oh my
Underage.
god,
Yeah,
amazing.
I don't know if you knew that one.
No,
yeah.
I didn't. So being an athlete your entire life, and you went through something that some people don't ever have to face, cancer diagnosis at the young age of
30.
At 30.
Yeah, right. In my 30s, ripe age of 30.
Yeah, only a tot really. So that is something that has definitely made a huge impact on you and your life. But you're unfortunately facing a second big hit to your sporting career, unfortunately, with that ACL tear.
Yeah.
But tell me, how has the knee been going? How have you found your first 2 weeks post-op?
Yeah, grand. You definitely know it's slower than I would have liked. I think, TikTok can be great to have a look and see, how other people are progressing and, a bit of inspo. But it's also probably for me been worse because I'm like, oh no, they can do this and I can't do that type of thing. But I think I've kind of learned now it's all individual. It's kind of checkpoint based as opposed to time based. It'll come good. Looking forward to getting off the crutches.
Yeah.
I would say, but no, look, we're getting there. The surgery's done, so now it's just moving forward.
You're very early in your stage. Usually sometimes whenever we talk to people on podcasts or interviews, it's whenever they've done the comeback. It's whenever you've had your own other separate comeback that you've already come back from.
Yeah.
But being at this point only really a month after your injury, how was that for you in your head, being was it oh my god, I've just started all this again? Or did you have any being I've been through way worse things before, this is so fine? What way was your head?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. So I think for me, well, initially we didn't think it was the ACL, so I was like, oh, it's grand, sure, it's anything but the ACL, therefore we're fine, we can get over it. But yeah, when I found out it was the ACL, initially I was more shocked. I was like, oh, what? I thought it was, just a bit of meniscus or something, whatever. But then I was kind of well, the surgeon was amazing. He was like, look, it's loads of people have done it, as you know. So I kind of took comfort in that. It's a very, well-trodden path, if you like. And yeah, honestly, I was like, okay, it's my knee. It's not, I have been through worse, therefore it will be fine. So I was obviously upset, feeling a bit sorry for myself the first weekend. And then I was kind of like, okay, grand. So now let's go. What's the prehab look like? Enter Maeve. And then, let's get going here. So I definitely was I have been through a different type of, setback. So yeah, frustrating, but it'll be grand.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good way to look at it, is giving yourself that time to feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's very overlooked, is jumping straight into the rehab train that gotta do more, gotta push myself, get back. But I think it's so important to have 2 or 3 days of being this is crap, this is rubbish, this is not what I've planned.
Yeah.
But I think there is, I don't know if this is as someone who's gone through it ourselves, that you just have this wave of acceptance then that just comes over you, and you're just well,
yes,
that's it now.
Yeah,
this is what we have to do.
That's actually so true, because I was yeah, pity party, whatever, feeling it, and then you're kind of bored of that nearly, and you're okay, now I want to, what's the next checkpoint, what's the next goal type of thing. So it was right, prehab, let's do really good prehab, and that. So I would agree with that. Yeah, I was okay, I've bored now of this pity party, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's definitely something that is a little bit overlooked, is having that little bit of time, but yeah, coming out the other side of it. So let's go back, I guess, to another big significant thing in your life is back in 2022.
Yes.
So I don't know if we were playing against each other that day. I know it was Blackrock against Belleville.
Yeah.
And yeah, you tell me
I actually don't know if you were. It was with the Jays. So it was with the twos. I don't think you were. It was like a semi-final and it was a refix game. So for some reason we were playing on a Thursday. You know yourself, sometimes that'll happen, like for whatever reason. So it was Thursday, I'd finished work and I was getting ready for the match and, shaving my legs as you do.
Yeah.
And I could just see, I actually could see in the mirror like this kind of like little lump on my neck and gave it a little feel. I was like, oh, that's strange. Anyway, and with me, I will be so honest. Like if I get a bump in my pinky, I'll go straight to Clodagh and be like, oh, this is sore. Do you know that? I will. I know I will. So I showed it to her and I was like, what's this thing? And she was like, does it hurt? And I was like, no. And she's like, right, you got a semi-final, or is it a final? Whichever. She's like, you just need to get your head in the game. Ignore that thing. Let's go. And I was like, oh yeah, right. Little did I know, as soon as I left the room, then she started Googling things and whatever. So I think she immediately was worried about it, but obviously didn't want to let on because what can you do about it? So grand, we get on the pitch. I play probably the worst game I have ever played. I was just absolutely wrecked. I was so tired. And everything was just an effort. Like I knew I needed to be over there, but I was over here. And I remember one point in the game, someone tackled me and I just like lay on the floor and they helped me up. I can't remember who it was. And I was just like, why am I doing this? I was like, this is so painful. Like, I'm not enjoying this right now. This is so difficult. This is my last game of rugby. I was like, this is horrendous. I really was like not enjoying it. Which isn't like me. Normally I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. So it was a really difficult game. I kept like reaching for my inhaler. Just felt like I couldn't get enough like air into my lungs. But then that wasn't giving me any relief. And I remember saying to the physio, Niall, at the time, I was like, what do you think this? Like, what's this thing? Like, I was kind of paranoid about it. He assessed it or whatever. And he was like, okay, I think you should just go see your GP tomorrow. And like a couple of people said that to me. Ali was another one.
Yeah.
What do you think of this now? And she was like, I think you should just go see your GP tomorrow. And I was like, oh, jeez. I was like, whatever. Anyway, we lose the game and, we had a couple of points after. So I was, with Blackrock, it's always a rivalry on the pitch, but like everyone like is really friendly off the pitch as well. So a couple of points. And then I went into the bathroom and I looked and I was like, that's after getting a bit bigger. So I kind of took a photo of like one side and a photo of the other side in the mirror. And I sent it to Clodagh and I was like, does this look different? Like, this looks quite big. Like, what do you think? And she just replied and she was like, you look beautiful. Go enjoy, like go into town, have a good time, whatever. So actually only one photo sent, only the normal side sent. But anyway, I went into town, had a great time. And then the next morning I woke up hungover, sore. And she was like, right, so you're going to the GP. And I was like, oh, Jesus. So anyway, went in, GP was amazing. And then I went to Vincent's that night to get a scan. Couldn't get one in the Beacon, I think. And anyway, sat there for a couple of hours, whatever, but then got in and actually it was the Leinster doctor at the time. I think it was Lucy was on, working in A&E. So familiar face because I would have known her from supporting like Ali and Clodagh with Leinster. So yeah, she did some scans and then she called me in and I was like, oh, will I bring Clodagh in? She's like, yeah, you should. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, and then saw on the scan, a little lump there in the neck and then kind of was going down a little bit into the chest. So I was like, oh, okay, grand. So a little infection or something, and then stayed in for hospital for a little bit then, about a week or two. That was Easter weekend.
Easter weekend. Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that week in hospital, was it very long? Was it like...
Do you know what? It was actually grand. Like I have this ability to... What the consultant that was on duty at the time, whatever way they do it, was so lovely. And he was like to me, look, the reality is we don't know what this thing is. We need to do some tests. It's, we're unlikely to get an answer in the next couple of days. So if you could just stick your head in the sand and like try not to worry about what it could be. Don't Google anything and then get through and then we'll get the answers. Which to someone else, they'd probably go, and I was like, yeah, sweet, sounds good. because I was just totally convinced that maybe I had like an infection or a sore throat or something. You know, your lymph nodes swell.
Yeah.
So I was having a great time. Clodagh bought me all these presents. I had like these lovely coloring books. I got a Nintendo Switch. I was like, this is great. Meanwhile, at home, I know she's calling. Her godfather is an expert in like lymphomas and like blood cancers and everything. So she was like figuring everything out on the side, and I was like, la la la, I'm absolutely fine. So it was actually okay. But because I kind of just said to myself, you're fine. Yeah. Like, let's not. Yeah, thinking back, how was I so naive?
No, but it's not like a naive, it's just being able to put yourself into that place. So I think like that's a skill, to be honest, which not many people have in a way. But I think nearly getting that from the doctor. Yeah. That
was great advice.
Yeah. And just like that, knowing in your head it's gonna be over a week. And it's mad what sometimes can be like overlooked as like a minor detail of telling someone, like that could be like waiting every single minute of every single day for someone to give them whatever news walking through the door. So just being like, it's going to take a week, we're going to have to do XYZ. Yeah. Like how much that actually
like set the expectation early, basically being like, this is going to take a bit of time. So try not to worry yourself. So I was like, okay, grand. And I was so exhausted. Like I slept so much. It was actually crazy. Not realizing that was obviously a symptom. Yeah. But yeah, and then I got to go home while they waited for like some biopsy results and things like that. Okay. Before I went home though, they kind of like the consultants realized, okay, this girl like literally has no clue. Okay. And obviously they can't tell you what it is until they have the full results, but they kind of needed to, you know, make me aware that they're like, okay, so it's probably not an infection because these things are, you know, we've cross that off the list. Yeah. It's probably not that. Okay. So then slowly I was like, okay, so then it's probably some kind of lymphoma type thing. And they're like, we don't know, but you know, just to prepare me, which was really good. Yeah. So then I went home kind of knowing, okay, this thing's probably a bit more serious. Okay. But and actually one thing was very funny. I got home and Claude was like, you know, what do you want to do? Whatever. I was like, I'd love a glass of wine. So honestly, I'd love a glass of cold white wine. And she was like, perfect. And she kept asking me like, is it sore? Like as I was drinking the wine, is the site sore? So that's another symptom apparently, which she knew that of Hodgkin's was like, it could be sore at the site after you drink alcohol or whatever. Hodgkin's as opposed to non-Hodgkin's. Next morning, I was like, oh, it actually is sore now. So yeah, Claudia was doing all these things in the background. Wow, yeah. You know, yeah, she was amazing.
Just a quick second to tell you about my online coaching for female athletes of all ages and all stages of their strength and sporting journey. Strength and conditioning is so important for women. Whether you want to get stronger in the gym, faster on the pitch, have some structure and accountability to stay consistent, or want to bridge the gap between early stage rehab and high level performance, I can help you get there. Everything is done through the MTA Performance app. Get your fully personalised program that fits you, your schedule and your goals. Every exercise has an in-depth video tutorial and voiceover to ensure your technique is perfected. With the MTA Performance app, every workout is logged, and I'll use that data to continue to personalise and progress your plan going forward. And I'll be there to support you with any questions, any queries along the way to ensure your success. So if that's something you're interested in, then click the link below or DM me on Instagram, MaveListon_physio, and book your free call with me to get a plan sorted just for you. Take your sport and career, your gym performance, and your overall health to the next level with the Play Strong Girl system. With me, your coach, Maeve Liston. Tell me, I guess, who came in with you for your news?
Clodagh. Yeah, so they called and said, you know, we have the results or whatever. And then I went in. The consultant was amazing. Claire Andrews, she was fantastic. Like they were going in, I think I had a good mindset. I was set up well for it, I think, because of Clodagh again, genuinely, where it was like, right, we've done our own detective work. We kind of said, right, it's probably either Hodgkin's or non-Hodgkin's. And Hodgkin's, as far as I knew at the time, was a bit of a simpler path to treatment. So I was kind of like, I hope they tell me. So strange. I hope you tell me I've got a Hodgkin's lymphoma. You know, because at that stage I knew it was something. So when I went into the room and she, you know, she was like, blah, 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 you know, Hodgkin's lymphoma. I was like, oh, like that's the good one. And she was like, what? And I was like, it's Hodgkin's, not non-Hodgkin's. And she was like, yeah, correct. She was like, generally, you know, whatever. And she was just amazed that I was like, but I had been well prepared up to that point where it wasn't a total shock. Like I knew it was something.
Okay.
So then it was just like, right, what do we do? What's the plan? Like, how do we treat this thing? And yeah, it was strange. She was like, what?
Yeah, no, like that just like, because, you see in all the, I guess, everyone's got their own different experience with like getting a significant diagnosis. But I guess in my head, just as an outsider looking in, I'm literally like, oh my God, would your world not just like stop? Would you not just be like, what? But you seem to go straight into that.
I think you're in it already. And when you're in it, you don't really have time to think about it. You kind of think of, okay, what's the next step? Because if you start, for me anyway, I was like, if I stop to think about what this is, I'm just going to, lose it. So I was like, right, this is what it is. It's the best outcome it could be. It's a very treatable thing. Great. Now, how do we treat it? Let's move on. And I think it was only well after I'd finished treatment, then you kind of, when you've got more time and you're not like planning for your next treatment session, you're kind of just waiting. That's when you're like, oh, this is crap. But when you're in it, you're like, okay, let's go. Let's move on. So it definitely wasn't until after that I was kind of like, okay, let's deal with this.
I'd say it's definitely like, would it be trying to strike that balance between like being in the now and being where you are of like in your treatment and being in that place, and then also wanting to look forward and see all the great things that are after this, but obviously not wanting to kind of go too far either way.
I kind of just thought in treatment. So for me, it was, and everyone's so individual. Each different type of cancer is so individual, which I had no idea about. Genuinely, like such an educational experience. But for me, it was 12 rounds of chemo every second Friday. So I really just was, okay, 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. That's how I kind of thought about it. I didn't think of anything further than that because I just couldn't. But knowing it would all be okay after that. And there was a checkpoint, I think maybe 2 months in, where I did a scan and they were like, okay, this is working. Hooray, that's great. I didn't need radiation then. We could drop one of the more toxic drugs and then just keep going. But like maybe towards treatment 8, 9, that's when I was really tired then. That's when I was like, oh God, then I was kind of feeling more sorry for myself. Just because you're absolutely wrecked. Like you're so tired. Like I've never been so tired in my life. And I never thought fatigue would be, so difficult to deal with. But when, yourself, you're like running around and you're training and you're gymming and stuff. And it was actually one of the things I did at the time, which was really helpful, was when Clodagh would go to Belvoir training, I would go as well whenever I felt up to it. But as much as possible, I'd have my big, the
subsuits,
the big like dry robe on me. I'd have a camping chair and my little hat on. And I'd literally just sit watching training. I'd get up, maybe follow the coaches around, not actually taking in anything, but just being there, in fresh air. And then when they had gym, I'd go into the gym. And some days I would sit there. Some days I'd do like a couple of press ups, or, like Raki was amazing. It was kind of like I wanted to do things, but obviously we were just very conscious of what my body could take and stuff. So it was some body weight squats or whatever, or just sit and watching that day. So that was really, really helpful, because then you're kind of like, you're not missing out.
No, and like even that little bit of like normality of routine.
The routine,
I'd say, that was probably a real something to hold on to. That is my normal. That is my day to day of going training. Yeah. Compared to this all new thing that you're going through. Then on top of that.
Yeah, but interestingly, I think the one thing that helped with treatment was the routine of it, right? Because you knew it was every 2 weeks you would build your routine to that. But when that ended, then you were just knackered and you couldn't go back to work because you're still too tired. And that's when you were totally out of routine. When I'm out of routine, then I'm like, oh no, what? So there was routine in treatment, which sounds strange. It wasn't nice, but still you could plan everything. Yeah. But yeah.
And you stayed in Dublin like that whole time then, because obviously it was close. Were you getting your treatment in Vincent's?
Yeah, I was really fortunate. Like where we live, like Vinny's was maybe 15 minutes away. Yeah. thankfully I didn't have to travel too far, because I know some people, like I'd hear they'd have to travel from the country, and I was able to say do my bloods the day before, because you have to do your bloods. For me, I had to do my bloods for every treatment, so I could do that the day before, knowing that when I came in Friday morning, my results would be in, they would be making up the drugs already, and I could just get going. Whereas for others, if they had to travel up, they would do the bloods that morning, wait around for hours, it's just a longer day. So, and it was also during COVID, so you couldn't really have anybody there.
Oh, that adds a complete
and
other
the
dimension for it.
The masks are so uncomfortable. Like, you're roasting in there, and like just they're so itchy, and then you're paranoid about, getting sick and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were amazing in there. Yeah. And then after the treatment, it only took maybe, again, 15 minutes to get home. So if you're feeling a bit nauseous, thankfully you're not in the car for that long. I'd have Loki would be in the back, my 7-Up would be in the side of the car, everything ready for me.
Gosh, yeah. And how were your family in and amongst that? Like, I know I'm sure, put on the bravest of faces for you, and they'd have to be there for your support. But was there a point that you're like, oh, hope they're doing okay too?
Oh, 100%. They were amazing. I actually couldn't tell them. I actually copped out totally, and I was like, Clodagh, I cannot tell them. She was like, I got you. She like went and told them. Yeah, amazing. But they were fantastic. Like, they knew I was in really good hands. We were all very positive about prognosis, and luckily, again, my test was early on in the journey where they're like, this is working. So you knew, like, okay, I will be fine. Just need to keep going. But no, they were amazing, like coming over, visiting all the time. Like, your appetite my appetite wasn't great. And all the painkillers, like, just mess up your body and stuff, like all the anti-nausea things. So my mom would make me lovely like dal, and I'd have that like maybe the next day when I had a bit of an appetite and stuff. So they were amazing, like, so great. It was fantastic. But yeah, you do kind of worry, like, but then they would see me doing well with it, I think, and we'd go for coffees and stuff. So yeah,
that's great.
No, they were amazing.
Brilliant. And like, you did something amazing. I remember playing against you and seeing your beautiful long luscious hair running down the way.
Yes.
And you did something amazing with that. You donated it to the Rapunzel Foundation.
Yeah. So it's funny, the consultant was like to me when they explained about, like, here's the diagnosis, here's the treatment plan, here's what to expect. And they were like, you'll lose your hair. And I was like, oh no, I don't think you understand. I was like, I'm half Malaysian. Like, I thread my eyebrows every 2 weeks, like, I've had laser hair removal. This hair is going nowhere. I don't think they were laughing away. They're like, no, like, you should expect, like, it will fall out. I was nearly like, challenge accepted, that way. But they kind of said, like, look, I think it was the consultant and the CNS that said, like, look, a lot of people will choose to just like cut it before it starts falling out. But that's just, like, obviously totally up to you, because it can be quite distressing. So I kind of thought about it, and then chatted with Clodagh about it, and I was like, right, well, while it's in such good nick, maybe I should just get ahead, cut it, donate it. Again, I think that was Clodagh's idea. It'd be a nice way to, like, take control of, okay, it's my decision that it's coming off, whatever. So I did that, and actually went to, I think it was Peter Mark in Dundrum. Gemma, I think, was a hairdresser, and she was so lovely. I'd seen her a couple of times before, and I was like, will you do this for me? It's a lot to put on someone, isn't it? Like, but it was great. It was a really nice experience, and donated it or whatever. And then it took me a while to get the right hairstyle. Yeah, it was much easier to manage when it was shorter. And so when it did fall out, it wasn't like clumps coming out. It was just like shedding. Like, is that Loki or is that me? So yeah,
that was like an incredible thing to do. Seeing your body go through those changes, I'm sure that wasn't easy, being someone who's a huge part of their life is being healthy and fit and strong. How did that feel?
Yeah, that was interesting, because everything just weaker, and you're tired and things like that. One other thing was, from a fertility perspective, actually, I was fortunate that we caught it early. So they were like, would you like to do egg collection like that's something you can do. And, you know, I did a consultation with the fertility clinic and we thought about it. And I was like, look, this thing happens so quickly. I know you're telling me I have time, but I would rather just get the treatment done now. And like, is there any other options that we could do to try and like preserve fertility? Because the way I saw it genuinely, I was like, my partner is also a woman. She's younger than me. So like 2 sets of eggs, like 2 ovens. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, the fertility clinic, like they were like, okay, that's a different case to most patients. Like it's obviously your choice. So there was another option, which was to take like this injection I think it was every month, if I remember correctly. And it would kind of put you through like a temporary menopause. Okay. So it just switched off your ovaries, trick your body into thinking you're going through menopause. But obviously with that comes
the side effects.
Menopause. Kind of, I think I'd say it was more perimenopause. So yeah, like the hot flushes. Yeah. Oh my God, they were mad. Like mad. They were crazy. Affected the sleep and lots of things. So the body did change a lot. But it's an amazing thing, your body, because it goes through so much. And I think the fact that I was so fit before gave me a lot of confidence during it. But then afterwards I was really eager to like let's get everything feeling like it was before. And I got there eventually, but it took time. But yeah.
How was the feeling whenever you knew it was all over and done with that? Like, that's it.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was like, it's such like an accomplishment, you know. It's like you have this journey and you're finished. I can't even remember what we did. I think we went to like Brook Lodge or something. Like we definitely celebrated. We celebrated the milestones, which I think is really important. Like, you know, whatever, quarter of the way there, halfway there, things like that. It was just a huge relief. And then when you get that final scan as well, that's a huge relief, even though you know it's probably fine. But until you do that, I think I think my last treatment was like 7th of October. And then my scan results came in, I think just before Christmas, like literally around Christmas time. So it was really nice Christmas then, you know, getting that final move on now.
New year, new me.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And then you have like your checkpoints then when you go in. Now I only need to go in once a year, little blood test, and that's it. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, amazing. And like you spoke about Clodagh so much and how much of a support she's been for you throughout it all.
Yeah. Genuinely, just like kind of, she would think very like logically about things. Obviously she was feeling things, but wouldn't have kind of like let on. So she was, because I'd be like, I don't know what to do, like, you know, whatever. And she was reading up on things for me, like even with the sleep and stuff. She was like, have you ever thought about reflexology? And I was like, no, but I'd love to do that. So she found me someone that kind of specialized in reflexology for people that had gone through cancer and things like that. And that was Laura. She was amazing. Went to see her all the time, and that really helped as well. I used to like fall asleep in her chair, like it was fantastic. But no, she was unbelievable. Clodagh was
class. And like talking about that return to play kind of aspect, right? So that's something I'm very familiar with in terms of like injuries and rehab, and you've got your black and white like set.
Yeah.
Like, how was that getting back in? Like, was it back in the gym first, then like a bit of running, and then like into drills? Like, how did that look for you?
Yeah, that was all racky, genuinely, because I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I'm just bad at doing research on things, genuinely. No. Like, I prefer
doing it. Doing the thing.
Tell me what to do, and I'll do it. Whatever it is, if you tell me, I'll do it. So we did. Like throughout treatment, I was doing a little bit of gym work. And that actually was great because I'd never really liked the gym before. Genuinely, I didn't. Which is probably why I kept tearing everything. But it was good. It got me into a really good routine. So then when I could, we kind of started with gym because I had to like watch my heart rate and things like that, you know. And then kind of return to like more cardio, like a bit of bike, maybe, again, really monitoring the heart rate, just making sure that's not going too high. I think, one of the drugs I think affected your heart, but it's grand. I got an echo, all good. But yeah, so just monitoring that. So it's like gym, then kind of return to like running. And then like, so I play tag as well. Tag would normally, for me, I'd normally play that over the summer for the off season of like full contact. And there was, so that was one of my goals was, okay, like, can we aim to get me back playing tag first? Because that's great for fitness.
Yeah.
Like, really good for fitness. And there's no like contact element to be worried about or whatever there. And really good for your skills and stuff. So that was great. Like all the community there at tag were amazing. They were so supportive. So slowly trying to get back in playing that, like, you know, maybe like a couple of minutes, building that way. So that's kind of how I built the cardio aspect. And then there was actually the tag World Cup. I can't remember what year it was, but it was when I had finished treatment a couple of months after, which I made the team for, and that was amazing. That was a huge milestone.
Oh.
So I had like the shorter term goals, and then like the longer term goal of I want to play in that home World Cup in Limerick.
Yeah.
And then I want to then be back in Belvo. So that was really helpful. But yeah, gym, then like kind of cardio and stuff.
Was it nice to see your body build back up?
Oh, it was fascinating. It was so cool. And like, again, I had never really appreciated the gym as much as I did when I was like recovering. And I could just see how like I was lifting a bit more. Like I was probably the strongest, not straight after treatment, obviously, but like when I had like returned to rugby then, like I was lifting more in the gym and I was like, oh, I love the gym now. Do you know that way? But it was amazing to see like your body could go through so much, and if you put the work in and give it time and just be patient with it, it'll be stronger at the other end.
Yeah.
I say that now, I should remember that for this ACL.
Well, gal, you can take it into the next thing. But I think that's such a good point, because like the girls and everyone that I want listening to this podcast are girls that I want to help get stronger and fitter for life and like their sport. Yeah. But I think having that, knowing that I think exercise and like strength work is something that you get a little bit of payoff at the time. Don't get me wrong, the happy hormones and you know lifting some weights and stuff, but yeah, it's not until you look back or that you're like, oh, this is actually like great, I feel so much stronger now, that you can like be like, oh, that was that work from
pointing
ages
it
ago.
It was like an epiphany. I was like pointing it back to that, and I was like, oh wow, like I'm not tearing my hamstrings all the time because I've been doing like work to make them bigger and things like that. It was a bit of like a you know.
But sometimes but it is your own like experience with it, and as much as people can like preach like me saying do this, do that, it's not until you kind of see it for yourself sometimes that you're like, oh, it makes like a really big difference.
It wasn't like you can lead the horse to water type of thing, but you know, you need to want to help yourself. So I think I did find a love for the gym straight after or during and straight after treatment, which was great. And then Pilates as well.
Oh yeah, nice,
Pilates.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's like real hard. I actually haven't done a full class of that myself.
May prepare yourself
really.
Mentally,
Good.
But it's amazing.
Yeah, it should be fun. And then like getting back into full contact running like for Belvo. How was that? And I think like, was it a home game or anything? Or away game?
I think my first game back was an away game, if I remember correctly. Could have been Tullamore or something with the Jays. And it was like the wettest day ever. It was so wet.
It wasn't the sunshine.
No. But it was so much fun, and it was just like so great to get that first game under the belt, you know. And I don't think I played the full game. I'm sure my minutes were, you know, minded and things like that. But it was just such an achievement, and it was so amazing. Like, it was really fun. And then it kind of just built from there. And actually, I really enjoyed the first season back because I had fun. Do you know what I mean? Like less pressure. I was like, oh, this is such a privilege. Do you know, like what you forget. I was like, oh, there's so much fun. So I was really enjoying myself. I was playing like mainly Jays, and then starting to get myself back into the firsts or whatever. And then the following season, my timeline's a bit messy here, but the most recent season,
you were on fire. You were on fire last season. You were so good.
Yeah, thank you.
Running against her and going, she's backing away, and I'm like, oh, there's Vanessa away.
It felt like I was back, but then what's interesting when I was thinking about it was I think I then brought that pressure back where I was starting games, like I was starting nearly every game on the wing, And then rather than being like, oh, it's because I worked hard or whatever, I was like, Jesus, we must have a load of injuries. Or, you know, it was all going back to that, oh, it must be because this person's away with Ireland, or, you know, Tanya's scraping the bottom of the barrel here, starting me every time, do you know, that way? But it wasn't. It was,
no,
you know, but it is interesting that how quickly you can kind of forget and go back to that old mindset of, oh, you know, I need to do really well, blah, 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 blah. But it was a great season, though. I did really, really enjoy it because I played so much rugby. It's so much fun. And I lasted longer without an injury than I typically would.
Yeah.
Which was great. But yeah, and then the Achilles tendonitis, and then this bad boy. So
gosh.
yeah.
Well, like, I think it's mad. Like, I think for us in our environment and our friends, like, we're surrounded by people who eat, sleep, and breathe rugby.
Yeah.
Like, that is like so much and
Yeah.
so important. High achievers like Clodagh, she's over playing now with Leicester Tigers, which is amazing and a great opportunity for her. And I think it's so easy for us to get caught in that headspace.
Yeah.
And where I'm really trying to let everyone see that there's so much more beyond that for whoever you are as a player. Like, you are a person first, I think is the most important thing. But has there anything that you've taken from all your experiences that allows you to maybe separate yourself sometimes? Like, is it going back to, oh, like, sure, I'm just buzzing that I can like run you know, and play, you know, whenever you're obviously are at your fittest self.
It's like, I think it comes back to, because it can become your whole identity, can't it? Like, and it can just be all consuming, and that's the most important thing, is like selection and how you do it training. And if you don't train as well, then you're like in a bad mood and things like that. But for me, it's like it's perspective is important, and I think I got a lot of perspective when I was sick. So I try to, and again, everyone's human. Like, I'm guilty of falling back into that trap of, you know, but it is important to like take a step back and be like, right, well, you know, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because, yeah, I'm competitive and I want to do this to the best of my ability, but also I'm doing it because it's fun, because I enjoy the people I'm around, you know, like you kind of do, I would say, like, try step back and try remember why you're doing that thing. And is it still bringing you joy? Maybe if it's not still bringing you joy, you need to try and figure out how to do that, whatever way that is, whether it's like taking a little break, or maybe it's just kind of like resetting the goals in your head. Like, I'd finish each game and I'd have my work-ons and my things I did well, and I'd always have way more work-ons than what I did well. So I tried to flip that and try and make the numbers a bit more even, things like that. And just for me as well, like, then I would turn on my laptop and start working and then be around all those amazing people. And I was like, oh, okay, well, actually, it's not my full amount of my life. Like, I have this whole other part of my life, like, which is my job, and then my other friends outside of rugby, and like my family and things like that. So it is important to just remember, like, you do have other friends, and like, there are other things, other aspects in your life.
Yeah. I think that's a really important point for like any of the young girls coming up. Like, they're all like any high performers are striving to make teams, and, you know, putting pressure. Like, pressure is a privilege, obviously, and trying to perform at the best of the ability, as you said. But whenever it becomes like, if I don't do X, then I am either a disappointment, or I'm not achieving my full potential. I think that's a really sad place, and, you know, a place where lots of girls maybe step away from sport then, if they did maybe not make a team, or if you know, they haven't achieved what they want to. It's trying to come back then to that, okay, what's the bottom line here? Sport is supposed to be enjoyable, it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be like social, like making friends. Bottom line, you can still have your goals, but having those different like pockets to tap into, as you said, is really important.
Yeah, it's really helpful. And it's like, like, does it still bring you joy, or does it still give you, I don't know, like kind of like that positive energy, or is it constantly taking away from you? I think that's really important.
And was there any, like, do you have any other like pastimes or hobbies as well, like outside of sport?
Yeah, like now, I love to play my Xbox.
What's your favorite game?
So if I'm playing by myself, I like to play Assassin's Creed. I like to get really immersed and just ride around on the horse and do random things. Yeah, so I love Assassin's Creed. But if I'm playing with someone else, got a Switch as well. So like Mario Kart and games like that are really fun. You can play with other people.
Did you play Zelda on did you play Breath of the Wild?
I can't remember which one I played while I was in the hospital. Actually, Clodagh got me one of the Zeldas, but I didn't actually have the attention. Like I couldn't focus on it when I was in there. Actually, now that I think back, I didn't.
Should go back and play it. It's
my
favorite game
because everyone was raving about
Breath of the Wild is actually amazing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
riding the horse and you just like have all these different worlds. I absolutely loved it. That was my lockdown as well, actually. Yeah. Was whenever I was rehabbing my ACL. I'd do all my rehab sessions from 2 in the day till 4. And then Mark will remember I went and just sat from 5 o'clock until 11 o'clock at night playing Zelda. And it just was a complete separate thing. And it was something I'd never really done before was play it but it's nice to go into that completely made up world and you're just I can be whatever I want to be in here.
But also when you've got the game ready on and you're there for half an hour or whatever, it's handy. What else? Watching Netflix, watching series, obviously. Started building Lego. That's also because then you're sitting and you have to do it, so that's quite nice. And then I like going for coffees as well a lot. So.
No, perfect. Well, those are all great things that you can do still now. Yes. Unfortunately, at this stage, you'll be building up now over time. Definitely, you'll be getting much stronger. What makes you proud of yourself now? If seeing everything that you've gone through, what makes you proud?
I think everything that has happened. I think kind of I do look back and I am very proud. I'm still ambitious. I still, my body went through a lot and it's doing really well and it was performing better, I think, after when I got better than it was before. That way I think I know my body so much better now, which is an amazing thing. And that's actually really nice. Just never been more aware of it. I don't know how to explain it. And I think that's a really powerful thing. But yeah, I think the fact that I'm still competitive in whatever it is I'm doing, and hopefully I will go back and play rugby, and I'll play at the highest level that I can play at, whatever that is, and I'll be happy doing that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I am it was a lot of stuff to go through, and I was very well supported the whole way, though. That's one thing as well that was amazing. So many great friends and teammates and everything. But yeah, of course, I'm proud of myself. Yeah.
And what do you want your story, for any young girls or anything? What would you want them to take from your story?
I think patience is a big thing, right? Because I know when I was much younger and I was playing football, I put myself under so much pressure to the point where I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And I thought that was the be all end all. Whereas now, I'm going to be 34 soon. My return to rugby, I'll be 35. It is fine. There is time. Just relax, have a bit of perspective, think of the bigger picture. Things will come good. It might seem like the biggest thing in the world right now, but it's not. Things will come good. I was such an anxious teenager, doing my leave and certain stuff. I thought this is the biggest thing in the world. And now I'm if something happens, I'm okay, yeah, grand, ACL, not ideal, but we'll get through it. There's a plan, no bother. So I think I would just say try and just not get so overwhelmed and consumed, and just know that things will come good. I also realized life doesn't make sense. That's one thing for me. And I think the moment I accepted you may not have a reason for everything happening, that kind of brought me a lot of peace. I was okay, you may not get an answer for why did I do my ACL? Why did I get Hodgkin's lymphoma? I think when you may not always be able to say it's because of X or Y. And so, it's a bunch of random things that happen. Okay, let's just make the most of it.
I think that definitely gives you nearly more power over it then too.
Yeah.
A mental kind of well, this is.
Yeah, it's okay, well, that happened. That was shit. But, I'm sorry. But
No?
let's move on. Like, it'll be fine. So yeah.
And like sport has obviously given you like so much growing up. Is there anything that you think is really important for like something I said before earlier in one of my earlier podcasts is like, 1 in 5 girls stop playing sport, unfortunately, like even just after the leaving cert. Is there anything that you would say to any of the like young girls there who are maybe thinking about, the leaving cert might be coming up and they might like be like, oh, there's just no room for sport anymore, or there's just I don't feel it, I don't love it anymore. Like, is there anything that you could say to them that maybe would inspire them to keep going?
Yeah, that's actually you just reminded me when I went to college, I stopped playing football because, again, I don't like, there was so much pressure that I put on myself and I wasn't performing to the level. I took a bit of a break away from it to like work to, get through college or whatever. And then I think then I missed it. Then I started playing again. I think it needs to bring you joy. So I think like it could be, if it's consuming and it's overwhelming, like try to do it in a space that brings you joy. So it may be that, okay, you're not playing for that club anymore, but like maybe you're playing for college instead and you're having a bit of fun there. Or like I fell back in love with football then when I was playing with college and then playing with other teams, maybe in lower leagues. It doesn't always, like, have a bit of patience. It doesn't always have to be at that same level. It could be that you're playing at a different level, maybe a social league, maybe playing social tag, like, and then just don't write it off is what I'd say. It's okay maybe to take a bit of a break from it, but don't write it off, because again, I'll be 35 making my return. So
no,
be grand.
Yeah, no, I felt the same. I like went back to basketball there like a couple of weeks ago to a complete like social league.
Yeah.
No pressure, just all fun. And that was like 10 years after I played my last game. And It was just like, oh, it's so nice to just like be new at something again and just, have fun with it. And I think like that's like really important with it, and is the basis of what we're trying to do, is still have something that we love.
Yeah.
With all the positive things that come from it though, like staying fit, staying strong, staying healthy. And I think like for the long run in our like lives, like exercise is not just to perform to the best of your ability on the pitch. It's not just to like make teams. Like strength, like learning about your body, getting more in tune with your body, as you said, is something as women we kind of look past. I think because maybe with what we are like, looking after kids, children, our jobs, family, where a lot of the time we do like look out to help others first. But I think it's taking that time to look after yourself first sometimes. Yeah. To be stronger, to be fitter for your future self is.
I totally agree. And like, I'm looking at my mom now. She's always like liked training and things like that, but she's back now in the gym. Like, she goes to the gym,
so
like
good.
I think 2 to 3 classes a week, where it's kind of like that kind of like circuit training type thing, but all strength based. So she'd be like, she's gonna kill me now for saying this. She'd come home and I'm like, what did you do today? And she's like, did the swingy thing, and I'm like, okay, that's kettlebells. Did the pulley thing, and I'm like, okay, that's a skier.
Doesn't matter.
Did back squats, did like overhead press.
Class.
Like, she's doing all these things, and like she has so much more energy then. Do you know what I mean? She's so much happier for doing it. Like, I think it's so important. And like it doesn't have to be that you're doing it to make the team, or to do this or to do that or to get a cap. You're doing it to make yourself feel better. And maybe rugby isn't bringing you joy anymore. So then like play try that, try something else, try Pilates, whatever it is, you'll find something. And it's not just physical, it's like for your head as well. Yeah.
Class. Yeah. Unreal. I love that she's gone to the gym. Was she in the gym like whenever she was younger, or was it like sports that she loved? My mum's kind of the same. She's was like sport mad until she was like 18 or 17, and then went to college thing, and then like completely left it. And unfortunately she didn't, like, she went and played like badminton and stuff, but with regards to like, strength training and stuff, she's joined like a circuit group that are doing the same thing. And it's so good to see, and you just know that she's like buzzing, feeling a little bit stronger. Like, was your mum the same?
I think when she was growing up, it was more just like playing whatever sports, like kind of like always very active, but she like the strength training stuff was only in recent years, maybe like the
Yeah.
last 10 years or whatever,
Great.
like kind of before CrossFit was becoming a thing, like doing those types of things, like, and also like that's her like group of friends now as well.
Yeah.
And she absolutely loves it. But then it's like relatable because I'll say, oh, like I did this in the gym with this weight, and she has an understanding. She's like, oh, that's really good. Or I
Yeah.
did this today. I'm like, that's really good, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, she loves it. She really does.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
class. Yeah, no, it's great. I have a couple of quick fire questions just to
Right.
lighten all of our. We talk about heavy stuff there,
Yeah,
gal,
yeah.
but we'll have a little bit of a
This
quick
is the
fire
heavy
round.
stuff now. This
Yeah,
is the serious
this is
stuff
the-
now.
This is the quick thinking. Now, chip and chase, try or try saving tackle.
So this is what I prefer.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, chip and chase.
Definitely. Jackal turnover on your 22 or score try.
Score try.
Yeah, same. If you could swap lives with anyone for the day, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. Oh, Dua Lipa.
Oh.
Yeah.
You a performer yourself?
Just think she's amazing.
Yeah, she's fun. Who was your favourite player in the Women's Rugby World Cup?
This year.
Yeah.
Oh, Portia Woodman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just have to go with the goat
Hands
sometimes.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Oh man, that is hard. I'll go with Portia Woodman again.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
What would you ask her?
How are you so amazing?
We'll clip it and send it to her.
Yeah.
See if she'll answer it for you.
Set it up.
Yeah. If you were a vegetable, what would you be and why?
Vegetable.
Yeah.
Oh, these are really. I would just say carrot because that's the first thing I can think of because it's all over the little lads.
Oh, a plug.
Yeah. If it's good enough for the Irish rugby, then yeah, carrot,
What is it, Kevin the Carrot or something?
something like that. Yeah.
What's one thing you want listeners to remember from our conversation today?
Ooh, okay. I think just sport should be fun and it should be making you feel good. I think that's one thing to remember, and like try not to put so much pressure on yourselves because things will come good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great answer. And finally, this is the Play Strong Girl podcast.
Yes.
So whenever someone says strong girl, what does that mean for you?
Ooh. So I think of a couple of things. First thing when I hear strong girl, I think like physical, like physically strong, like strength, conditioning, like that aspect of it. Then I also think of like mentally strong. So the kind of like being mentally able to get through certain periods of time that may be more difficult or whatever. And then like emotionally as well. So like emotionally, like it's absolutely fine to be vulnerable and to feel things, as we said earlier, like with an ACL, but then, you know, being strong, kind of like pushing through things as well. So yeah, a couple of things. I hope that's what comes to mind when I think of it.
Amazing. Thanks so
Yeah.
much, Vanessa,
Thank
for joining
you.
me on the podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.